they checked what I had done before. You know, the job that was available was the job of recruiting and training manager, for example. I hadn't served. Okay, I sat down, did all the interviews, and on the 5th of September 2001, I was given my letter of appointment.
Wow.
As a recruiting manager. After I got the letter, I asked the HR director, who was mixed English-Irish, but born in South Africa, Lynn Montana. I asked her, I said, what happens when I go to serve? I envisage that service will be in January. What do I do? She said, Deolu, you haven't served? You mean you haven't served? I said, no, I haven't served. He said, who did this to us? Who did this to me? He said, give me a few minutes, I'll be back. She went in, came back and said, Deolu, can I have your letter back?
And I'm sure you would have been a bit reluctant.
I'm like, what do you mean? She said, no, Deolu. We're still going to give you a letter, but we're not officially allowed to give you this kind of letter if you haven't served. Don't worry, we're not going to change your salary. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to change the terminology so that
it meets requirements.
I said, what's my terminology? Go ahead and change terminology. So you change terminology, ensure the salary was exactly the way it was, and that's how I began my career in HR. It was an exciting run. I learned for 4 uninterrupted years of the best. You know, learned, and that's how.
And that's how you got into HR. Which other prominent organizations have you worked for, and what positions? Just really briefly. Okay.
Moved from becoming recruiting manager to admin training. Moved from doing it for Nigeria to West Africa to admin East Africa. Moved from there to learning and development, talent supply and learning and development manager. Moved from there to becoming HR manager, customer business development. Now remember, I always had my eye on customer business development.
Yes, you're correct.
That was the last thing I did. I was HR manager for the customer business development team. So I was like the HR manager for all the distribution units. And I also did some some research, planning and project management kind of work by driving sales for a few products as well. So I did that for a few months before I left from there. I left there, I went to work with Virgin Nigeria as one of the pioneer staff to recruit, develop talent, develop policies, principles and procedures for getting talent, for doing interviews.
So you were there from the beginning of Virgin
I was there from quite in the beginning, like a month after they started.
Came into Nigeria.
I was there when the HR, I came on board same time with the HR director.
Okay.
More or less.
Pretty much
So I was HR manager, talent and learning. We had an HR director, then we had 3 HR managers, 4 HR managers. We had HR manager for head office, we had HR manager for operations, then we had HR manager for compensation and benefits, and we had HR manager for talent and learning.
Okay.
I was talent and learning. Everything I has to do is getting the talent in and developing them. So,
is it safe to say that all this before the age of 30?
Oh yes, before 30. I clocked 30 and resigned from employment before 30. I resigned from all employment 5 years ago when I was 28.
Wow. This takes me nicely into my next question. Virgin Nigeria was your last paid employment, and you said this was 5 years ago.
Yes.
A lot of youths today find it very difficult for them to leave their paid employment and run on some ideas that they have, albeit good, fantastic ideas, but they're really scared to do so. What advice do you have for such youth? And when do you think it's the right time for them to actually say, okay, yes, I think I can branch out on my own now and actualize some of the ideas that I actually have?
It's time to log out of paid employment is when you can. When you're young, when you're strong, when you have vision, when you have passion, when you have energy, when you can take these shocks, the heart attacks, the stress, the strain, the pains, that's when you should log out. I feel that there's never a great time.
Okay.
So it's just the best time. For me, the major driving force was Procter & Gamble. The movement from Procter & Gamble to Virgin Nigeria, for me, was a movement from certainty to a higher level of uncertainty. The movement from Virgin Nigeria out was a movement from uncertainty to a higher level of certainty. And I feel one of the major things that drove me at that time as well, I believe in God, I get direction from God and all that. But philosophically, or in my mind, one of the things that happened was I asked myself, will I succeed? Do I want to guess that for the rest of my life? Or do I want to try, fail, and leave no doubt? Do I want to stand in front of the mirror when I'm 50 and tell myself, nothing's going to happen different?
Yes.
Or do I want to say, look, I give it all the best shot that I could. This country, this area, this environment, it wasn't going to work. That's why I'm where I am. So it was a pull to say, let me go into a higher level of responsibility. Let me take my life in my hands. Let me not wait until I'm 50, because I know that one day I will always resign. One day I will, either they force me out or force myself out. I will get out. But I have dreams. I have things I want to do. I have places I want to visit. I have lives I need to touch. I have lives that are connected to mine that my employment will not get me to connect with. So I analyzed it. I felt sure it was time to go. I've gotten myself into a few opportunities by the side that I felt I could spring up on this. It didn't work out quite well. I tell people, don't expect that it will be smooth. It's not meant to be smooth.
So can you just elaborate on maybe one challenge that you had that springs to mind right now, on something that you felt I stopped my paid employment and it backfired?
Yeah, I had plenty of challenges. I'd done HR.
Okay.
I'd done HR for as long as I did engineering. So it's safe to think that I would become an HR consultant. Train, recruit, and all those. But I discovered that in that journey called entrepreneurship, nobody gives a hoot what you know until you put your feet in the door. I discovered that an entrepreneur is not an HR consultant. An entrepreneur is a salesman. And the major thing that you want to do is convince your clients that you can deliver the job. You don't have the best authors, you have the best selling authors.
Yes.
You don't have the best HR consultants, you have the best selling
well said
HR consultants. So I discovered that my role overnight changed from I can train your people, I can recruit, to developing proposals and knocking on doors. I tell people that in 1 year after I left paid employment, I must have submitted over 1,000 proposals.
Wow.
We were producing it and he was going out of fashion. Some of the proposals I look at them now and I wonder, could I have allowed something I used to leave my hands as a proposal? But it was, I had some money. I when I wanted to resign, I told my wife I wanted to resign. My wife said, keep working, let me resign. Whatever ideas you have, whatever business you want to do, I will do it.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Anything you want to execute, when you come back home from work at night, we talk about it. The next day, I am willing to resign from my pharmaceutical job to pursue this. I said, okay, good, go ahead and resign. So she resigned.
Okay.
3 months later, I called and said, look, I'm resigning as well. Now there was some things we were doing that we needed some money from.
Okay.
So I felt, hey, look, let me be on top of this thing and ensure that he delivers. I resigned from the ballparks of over $500,000 a month to 40,000 naira per month.
So that was a huge drop in income.
Yeah, that's what I was allowed to pay myself.
Yeah.
It got worse. It got as bad as times when I call my staff together. I say, guys, it's been a fantastic month. What we have this month is 16,000 naira. And I want us to share it. And we're going to share it based on how far where you live is.
So that at least you have transportation money
to come. So you are living at Ajambadi. How far away from here is that? We're in Okwebi then, 65C Okwebi.
Okay.
This is okay. Yes. You take 9,000. You are living around my house. Just join me. Come by.
Come.
That's how we do. It got from bad to worse. It got so bad at a particular time. I was considering getting a job again. I went to one of my mentors. And I mentored to him, and he told me, look, Deolu, I resigned so many years ago. I went through my business. It wasn't successful. I applied for a job in the same company again. They took me back. And I built my career again for a few more years before I finally resigned. I said, look, you don't owe anybody any explanation. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. We discussed at like 2 a.m. I slept, woke up around 6 a.m. the next morning. He said, so Deolu, what's the verdict? I said, I'll continue. He said, why? He said, I've discovered that until I tell myself I don't have any other option, I'll keep looking back.
Yes.
He smiled. He said, Deolu, whenever you ask me, how is your job? What do I tell you? I said, you tell me you are not found another one. He said, do you think it's because we can't find another one? He said, it's because we're giving ourselves no other choice. He said, so I'm in alignment with you. If you give yourself no other choice, you're likely to succeed. I got job offers. I got fantastic job offers. I refused to pay attention to it. I just continued. A few other opportunities came along the way. Before it was happening, I was doing some trainings for MTN. I was invited to come and do a training for GT Bank. I was invited for a few places. Because of network marketing opportunities, got involved, drove it, you know, and somehow we've had
things
turned around and we're managing it.
Today you're the MD of Generic Solutions, if I'm correct, but I also know you wear many other hats. You mentioned it earlier that you've got some visible hats and some invisible hats. Can you just mention a few of these other invisible hats that you wear that we might not know about?
Okay. I'm currently the MD of Avenue Sword.
Okay.
Officially. One of the which other visible hats do I have? A few other visible hats. But I have a few invisible hats. I'm a director in a few companies.
Okay.
I'm a director as a shareholder. I'm a director as we do board meetings. There's a company that is into some IT solutions type of thingy. There's a company that is into making shape CDs. We're having some challenges with that right now. There's a company that is into oil and gas that I'm a director in. There's a few concerns like that. Some small, some big. I wear an invisible hat of it.
Okay.
Just functioning in the board business.
Okay. Let's focus. Can you just, in a nutshell, just tell us what Generic Solutions is all about?
We partner with people to succeed.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. I'm trying to look at how can we partner with you to succeed? What are you doing to partner with you to succeed? And we've done a number of things.
And this is where your business consultation and your interactive skills will also come in.
As we're trainings
and
we're consulting, we're helping you develop your business, helping you to grow your business. That's where that comes in.
No.
And that was for me as well, the bridge for Avenue World.
Okay.
For a while, trying to do value-added services to ensure that Avenue World stabilizes Nigeria. We're functioning in that capacity until I took on the hat.
A lot of us just believe in waking up in the morning and just trying to either go to our workplaces or going to our business venues and trying to make money. Now that's what we would call active income. Now you've mentioned some things. There's some underlining message in some of the things that you've mentioned. You've talked about wearing invisible hats. You've talked about being a director in so many companies. Would I be correct in saying that that is passive income?
Okay.
For some of them, if not all of them.
Well, yes.
And can you just shed more light on what it is I am trying to say?
Okay, great. Financial freedom is a right and responsibility of every human being. I believe very strongly that if somebody is not pursuing financial freedom, it's because the devil is keeping them in captivity. I believe that. Okay, and that's the passion with which I take it. I take it seriously. That reality is the way God has designed our lives. We cannot operate at this energy level through our lives. And there's a time when you're young and you're active, and there's a time when you're passive. That it's good if you build systems around your life where you can earn passive income, or what some other people call residual income. Financial freedom for me means you build your life and your portfolio to a point in life where what you make when you are asleep can take care of you when you are awake. When what you make passively can take care of your expenses when you are active. And that's a philosophy I hold, and that's something I'm very serious about. I invest, I get involved in businesses, I invest, I'm passive here, I'm active there, so that I can balance my portfolio and ensure that, God forbid, okay, I find myself in a situation where I cannot work for 2 years. My life doesn't need to change. And I continue to do everything I'm doing exactly the way I'm doing it. It's one of the reasons why I'm in Avenue World as well.
Thank
because there are opportunities.